What's up, guys? Corey Beth here. Extra bacon, extra cheese, coffee, light and sweet. When I was a teacher back in the day, it was a Thursday, and I would drive down to my job in Westchester County, New York. That's like just above New York City. And I worked in a district called Chappaqua Central School District. It's pretty bougie. But the best part about working in a great district, I had great colleagues, I had pretty great kids, I had some awesome kids, and I really loved what I did. But one of the best things that I loved about working in Chappaqua was being close to Rocky's Deli. In fact, I would travel down the highway to Chappaqua, New York. I would make sure I got off the exit to Rocky's Deli, which was always packed. I mean, people out the door. And if you know Rocky's, drop Rocky's in the comments. I love Rocky's. Okay, it's like a famous deli. You can check it out online. And it's in Millwood, New York, if you want to search it. And I would go in and I would get a croissant, because I was fancy, with bacon, egg and cheese, sometimes a sausage, egg and cheese. And oftentimes on the croissant, like a nice buttery, crisp, warm croissant, I would get extra cheese, extra meat, and I always ordered my coffee light and sweet. And then I would get in my car and drive right on up to the school that I worked at and go on with my day. Now, this went on, I didn't do it every day, but I would say at least once a week, I treated myself to a Rocky's croissant, extra cheese, extra meat, coffee light and sweet. But through the course of that time, I gained a little bit of weight. I started to get some acne on my face. And now working in special education, it's not the best type of a place to look different than other people because the kids pick up on it and they will tell you. So oftentimes I was asked, what is wrong with your face? Now, they couldn't understand that I had acne, or really acne. I had a hormonal imbalance, which I didn't know at the time. But I was like, I would try to cover it and hide it with scarves. I, in fact, had this one black scarf that I would wrap around me. It was from H&M. And I would always try to bunch it up a little bit just so that people couldn't see this entire line of my face because it was literally covered in acne, to the point where I would go to a special dermatologist and he would prescribe special creams and lotions. We even did steroid shots in my face. At one point, I think I got like 20 something steroid shots in my face to get rid of this acne, never making a connection that the Rocky's bacon, egg, and cheese with extra bacon, extra cheese, coffee light and sweet. It's a lot of sugar, by the way. That's like, can I have some coffee with my sugar is pretty much how I drank my coffee. And my skin not being right never put these two things together. And I think probably in conventional medicine, we don't put those two things together. It's like, well, this is what I eat and this is my skin. And those are two totally different things. Wrong. Today is Thriving Thursday. And one of the best ways that we can thrive is to have, it does sound very good, doesn't it? The best ways that we can thrive is to have an awareness of our body, what our body needs, and the realization that our bodily systems are completely connected. They're totally connected. Like, you may not believe me, but have you ever been nervous and you got butterflies in your stomach? How did your brain thought about being nervous about something create butterflies or a feeling down in your belly? Or when you're angry, do you find that it changes the way that you have a bowel movement? Or when you are hungry, it makes you angry. Some people get hangry. It's a blood sugar drop that creates an emotion in us that makes us feel frustrated. We're hangry. You guys have heard of that before, right? So once we start to think about our body not as individual parts, but as fully connected, it enables us to have a better picture of what the hell is going on inside our bodies. Hanger is real. I agree with you in the comments. So this morning, I ran out to get my husband something to eat. And while I was at this particular place this morning, I'm not going to call it out, there were a couple of people ahead of me that were ordering extra cheese, extra Splenda, extra this, extra that. Now, I want to be very clear about something. I don't judge the way anyone does anything. If that's the way you do it and that's what works for you, awesome. I think that's like, if you know me personally, you'll know that about me. I'm not going to be like, that's the wrong way, or that's not the way I would do it. I think people that are like that, actually, I'll just be real, it pisses me off because I'm like, it's actually not your choice, right? Like, my choice is my choice and your choice is your choice. Like, if I prefer to drink my water room temperature, like, I'm going to drink my water room temperature. Like, don't hate on it. So I was listening to these people order, and it took me back to those mornings at Rocky's Deli where I totally unaware of what I was eating, totally unaware of what this food was doing inside my body. That was me. And I'm looking at these people and I'm like, oh my gosh, that was me, right? I was not standing there being like, can't believe they're ordering that. Shut up. That was me. I had no idea what I was ordering. And as this one individual in front of me ordered extra cheese on her bagel with extra Splenda in her coffee, what I heard was extra processed hormonal fat, right? That's the cheese. Tons of sugar. That's what the bagel is going to break down into, plus artificial sugar, because maybe she's trying to be healthy, because that is what the society and the world and the doctors have told us. So, like, she's trying to make the right choices. But all I could think, and excuse my French, guys, chemical shitstorm. Like, this woman is a metabolic shitstorm inside of her body, and she doesn't even know it. Now, looking at most people, you can have a good feeling for how healthy they are just by looking at their skin. If they're hydrated, well, you could tell that by looking at their skin. If they're dehydrated, you can tell that by looking at their skin. Now, I'm very aware of that because I was dehydrated. My skin would flake off. All the medication that I put on my face, I couldn't go in the sun. My skin would flake. My blisters and pimples and hormonal acne, like, it would do crazy things. So I've been there. All right. I'm not sitting here being like, I have perfect skin my whole life. No, my skin was a disaster for many years. Okay. You get into like the root of this here with me. So as I'm listening to this, it just made me think, if more of us were aware at what this was actually doing to us, the things that are at the end of our fork, the things that are in our glasses, the way that things interact with our bodies, it might make us make some different decisions. Now, for me, it didn't stop at just having cystic hormonal acne. I literally had to fall asleep, standing, sitting in a car, driving. That's really scary because now I'm going to hurt someone. I was diagnosed with narcolepsy. So for me, it took a narcolepsis, I don't even know if that's a word, narcoleptic diagnosis for me to say, hey, like, maybe there's something not right here, right? But still, I didn't even know what to do. I went to the doctor for IBS, got a medication. For my acne, got a medicine, steroid shots, ointments. I even had a pill that I took every single day. I couldn't go in the sun because of that. Interfered with my birth control. It was a chemical shitstorm inside my body. So the point of this is this. Yes, I cringe when people order Splenda. The pink and blue packets. I'm with you. But here's the thing. Maybe not everybody here realizes that the pink and blue packets are actually not that great for you, right? Aspartame was a really big thing that we were like, no more aspartame in soda because it's a known carcinogen. A lot of that stuff is still in the artificial sweeteners that we use. Even sometimes we'll see like stevia, but it's like stevia blend with Truvia. There are things in there too, artificial sugar. So if it ends in an O-all, like erythritol, it's an artificial sugar. Now, those sugars can have extra things added into them that can jar up our gut. It can change the way that our skin is working on our bodies. And I really say that because your skin is your biggest organ. We think about like our heart and like our brain and our lungs. Those are really important organs, but so is your skin. Your skin is your biggest organ. And in fact, your skin absorbs 70% of what you put on it. But the skin is often the first warning sign, the warning signal that you get when something's not right in your body. So if we're dealing with eczema, acne, psoriasis, right? Oftentimes, I'm going to preface this with, I'm not a medical doctor and I'm not your medical doctor. But oftentimes we can root those things back to something that's actually occurring inside the body. And 90% of the time, it's something related to the gut. Crazy, right? Okay. So yes, I also cringe too. And it totally is instant headaches. Like for me, Mike found out that he is color, food, dye sensitive. So as a kid, he would get migraines and he was like, why am I getting migraines? Well, it was totally related to the coloring in food. It's crazy. It's so crazy. But there are so many chemicals around us. So here is my 2 cents to you. This whole story, this lovely story, I'm going to tie it up in a little bow, right? Rocky's is still great. I would still visit it. They still have some great like eggplant parmesan and things that I think are delicious. Pay attention, really. Like if you had to look at each of your things and say, okay, what is cheese? Cheese is fat. What is my bagel? My bagel is sugar. What is the Splenda and whatever else I'm putting in my coffee? That is an artificial sweetener. That's a chemical, by the way, just saying it as it is. And when we put that whole meal together, what really is nutritional about that? Maybe the eggs, right? Eggs are protein and the yolk is fat. So we got some healthy fat, some omegas. We have protein. If you actually had to break down each meal, Are you getting vegetables? Are you getting protein? Because for me, I would just eat a bagel and butter, or a bagel with cream cheese and butter, because the cream cheese was not enough fat for me. I had to put butter and cream cheese on my bagel because a guy in high school I thought was cute used to eat his bagel like that. So I ate my bagel like that, and I wondered why I gained 10 pounds every year of high school. Crazy. It's all connected. You are all connected. It is all connected. Everything inside of you is connected. And if there's something that you're experiencing, whether it's fatigue, some skin something, bloating, which is not normal, by the way. I say that as a bloater for probably a decade of my life. Suffered with constipation as a kid, IBS as an adult. Okay. Been there, done that. Been around the house a couple of times. Been around town. It's all connected. And if we look back at what is literally at the end of our fork, it's my pen, but the end of our fork, that has so much greater impact at what's going inside our bodily system, because it is an interconnected system, than pretty much anything else. The water you drink, right? Your environment, the air you breathe, all of that is connected. And next time, friends, we're going to dive into what's called the terrain theory. The terrain theory is a fascinating theory that has to do with our surroundings, rather than this scorch and burn theory that we have of going into the body and killing off with antibiotics all of the bacteria inside of us. How can we change our environment, the food we eat, the water we drink, the air we breathe, the lighting that we have, all of that, our thoughts, our stress, all connected. How can we use that to improve our health and our immune system? Because flash, like spoiler alert, your immune system is designed to protect you, keep you safe, keep you healthy. That's what it's designed for. It's an innate design within you. That's why when you get cut, you heal, or you get a cold, you get better, right? Your immune system is there to protect you, but it can't do it when we're flooding ourselves with a metabolic shitstorm of chemicals and things that are going to throw off our hormones, weaken our immune system. Alcohol is the first thing that'll do that, by the way. That is like an instant immune system suppressor. Alcohol. We don't talk about that. Why? We talk about it here, though. And that's why you're part of the Pure community, because we have these conversations, because they're incredibly helpful to have, because maybe you'll realize something about yourself, your spouse, your coworkers, or your kids that you didn't think about before. Because every time I showed up to the doctor, it was, here's a prescription. Here's a prescription. And I was like, okay. But when I wasn't getting better, I actually wanted to dig down to the root and figure out what was actually going on inside my body. And do you want to know what I found out? Get ready, guys. Hold on to your seats. I can't process sugar. That's it. That's all it was. I pulled sugar out of my diet in the form of light and sweet coffees. I drank black coffee for about 5 years. I now have it with cream because I love a little bit of frothed cream on my coffee. No sugar, no stevia. I pulled out excess sugary alcoholic beverages. Sex on the beach was what I drank. I mean, don't judge me. Okay, it's like college and stuff. And then I pulled out a lot of the glutinous foods I was eating. Pasta, I loved pasta. Mac and cheese, I love mac and cheese out of a box with that totally fluorescent orange cheese. That was delicious to me. Cookies, snacks, anything processed. And I started putting in things, chicken, eggs, vegetables. I found that actually I like green beans. I didn't know that. I like Brussels sprouts. I didn't know that, right? You find a way that makes it work for you. I love them toasted and crisp, a little broiled. All of a sudden, my health changed without a medication. Isn't that amazing? So crazy. I agree. It is nuts. Thank you for saying that this is so good. I hope that this is helpful to you. But really, today was a big eye opener into my own past of the things that I used to do and the questions I used to have. And listen, I'm not going to tell you anything that maybe you didn't already know, but you're not doing it. I didn't tell you anything that you've never heard before in your life, but maybe it's going to hit you differently today than you've heard it in the past. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that what you're doing is wrong, because listen, there's stuff that I do that's wrong too, but it's figuring out what works for us in a lifestyle in a way that makes us feel energized, clear, focused, and happy. At the end of the day, I believe that that is the ultimate goal, and that's the mental and physical wellness that we want to gift to you. So if you have questions about this, there's a bunch of you guys hanging on this video, and I appreciate you sitting with me for the last 15 minutes. Reach out with questions. We'd be happy to help you find some answers. And listen, if it's ever beyond my scope, I'm never going to pretend that I know something that I don't know. I have an amazing network of people that I love to refer clients and people out to so that you can get the help that you need. All right? But there's natural solutions to pretty much everything. Sending you guys love. No more extra bacon, extra cheese, light and sweet coffee. I mean, come on. No chemical shitstorms in our body. Let's try to keep it natural. All right, guys, have an awesome day.